write a really good book and yet be happy with only selling a few copies. The books, by and large, not all of them, but by and large, were very, very good. But they weren't being sold. Now I know that indie authors, by and large, aren't idiots. But what I did find, product, personality, everything should be working, but it wasn't. So my goal became to understand why. Why were indie authors not selling their books? And I did that by applying business principles. Combined with the things that I've learned from all of the indie authors I've met from all over the world, I've come up with a few things. And I'm not really going to talk about them today, okay? Or should I?
Please do.
Okay. Guys, the biggest problem that I'm finding is indie authors are focusing too much on the local population. Now these figures are a little bit out of date, but they're more or less illustrate what I'm saying. Not only do we only have a population of 55 million, 6.3 million of those are younger than 6. 4.7 are illiterate, while another 4.9 million people are functionally illiterate. So in other words, they can read a stop sign. Okay. Take away the 18 million people who are unemployed and the 10 million people that earn less than 1,000 Rand a month. And what we're left with is 11.1 million people that earn more than 1,000 Rand a month and are employed and can pretty much read. Is that a lot? Okay, let's compare that with the US and Europe, where there are 1,300 million people. And by Europe, I mean English-speaking Europe. Okay? Just another interesting fact, on average, every American, on average, reads 12 books a year. Do you think that happens in South Africa? Who here has read 12 books in the last 12 months? Okay. You lying.
Well, it's more than 12.
More than 12, that's better. So guys, we need to be looking outside. We need to be looking at the US and Europe. We don't need to only be looking at South Africa. Are you guys marketing overseas? Are you marketing effectively overseas? Not so much. Okay. Guys, I hate these things. I want to just talk about bookshops and the internet. Very simple. Bookshops, the use of bookshops, the amount of books retailed through bookshops has gone right down and has been replaced by the internet. Would you agree with that statement? Okay, let's just look at why it happened firstly. First of all, you guys know this, the range on the internet is far greater than in a store. In a store, we'd be lucky if we can find, say, 10 titles by Stephen King. We'd actually be lucky if we found 5. But if we go online, we can order all 100 plus of his books. We can even order the pop-up books, the comic books, the graphic novels, the audio books, whatever we want. So the range is there on the internet. The price is much better because we're not paying rent. The price of rental in a convenience shopping centre. So just a little spa shopping centre, 5 years ago was 250 Rand a square metre. Now if we start looking at the size of a meaningful bookshop, that's going to cost a lot of money. And that 250 is a lot more. In Sandton City 4 is more Montecasino. So that means that the price of books is going to be higher. Order online, it's going to be cheaper. And it's convenient. I know it's very convenient for us to buy a book now while we're here, but if I'm sitting at home, I would far rather order a book and know it's going to be delivered to my house than have to go out to the bookshop. And finally, ebooks. Are ebooks working, guys? Do ebooks work? Yes and no. We'll come back to that. Let's just take a look at book selling in the US. Okay, US tends to be the benchmark. And let's take a look at what's been happening there, because all the changes in book selling have been caused by changes in publishing, starting with
Amazon?
printing press. Okay, invented around about 1445, hugely significant. Okay, America hadn't even been founded, but it was going to be important because suddenly books that had been handwritten could now be mass-produced for the masses. So everyone could now potentially own books. What was the next big thing? Amazon. Okay. From the printing press being invented to Amazon, there was no real change in the book. The book was produced in the same way. Granted, okay, the printing press was improved, printing techniques were improved, but pretty much the book that you could have bought in 1500 and where you bought it was pretty much the same as up until 1994. Amazon changed everything. But it took them 7 years to make a profit. Okay, now, what company do you guys know that will run at a loss for 7 years? Not many. Amazon knew that it cornered the market. It knew it had the market. It was going to be the leader in online retailing. So every time it made a loss, it went to its shareholders and said, give us more money. The shareholders said, well, how much you lose this year? How much do you want? 2007, the Kindle's released. How many people here have got a Kindle? Okay, so that's quite a few people by South African standards. Overseas, we're looking at about certainly 20% of the population either has a Kindle or the Kindle app. So that was pretty significant. But in 2008, it all went wrong. Okay? Everything went down the toilet. Why? Loss. The economy turned upside down. People lost money. Companies lost money. Everything got flushed down the toilet. How did this affect books? Okay, two interesting ways. The first one was that the sale of, and this is just a useless fact, the sale of second-hand books went right down. Predominantly collectibles. Books that were collectible before 2008 that demanded tens of thousands of US dollars were suddenly worthless because people were just getting rid of the stuff. The other thing is more relevant. When you have your economy going down the toilet, what happens to jobs? What happens to jobs? People work from home because they have no jobs anymore. And the Kindle had been released the year before, and around about the same time, Amazon made it possible for people to publish their own books. So what happened is we've got a whole lot of people who have lost their jobs and think, hey, let's make money writing a book. They write the book, they upload it. Didn't really work that way, I think you guys all would agree with that. But what is significant is that the world economy meant that suddenly e-books became very popular. Not so much in terms of being bought, but in terms of being written. And if it was going to be very popular in terms of being written, that will stimulate the amount of people reading it. Alright, so what was happening is everyone was trying to write a book, upload it on Amazon. By doing that, they realized they could find inexpensive books on Amazon. So it was a completely unique scenario, one that could only have happened at that particular point in time. 2011, okay, now this is where we get to really important stuff. In 2011, 22% of all book sales were through Amazon. Is that good or bad? Not too bad, huh? So, 1 out of every 4 books sold in the USA was via Amazon. What does that tell us? It tells us people are not going into mortar shops anymore, they're going to go online. 2015, for the first time, more indie stores are closing than are opening up. With the indie stores, and by this I mean independently operated stores, so not your Barnes and Nobles and so forth, We accept that a lot are going to close down, but there's always new ones opening up. For the first time in 2015, more indie shops in America were closing than were opening. Also in 2015, the first Amazon stores opened. We'll come back to that. Okay, 2016, how many zeros is that?
6 million.
5, so it's 2.5 million books sold in the US. How many of your books were sold in the US? You're lying. You're right, sir. But not that many. Guys, you need to be part of that 2.5 million, or 2.5 million. Let's just take a look. At the same time, 475,000 ebooks. So guys, whenever they say to you, ebook sales are declining, they're really not declining much. In fact, if you really look at it, the statistics are manipulated. The reality is 20% of the books in the US that were sold were ebooks. Ebooks pretty important, guys. Okay, the Amazon stores. Why did they start? Why did Amazon, who has now created this monopoly of online retailing, suddenly turn around and open a mortar and brick store? Why did they do that? Well, no one really knows, including Amazon. Okay, this is one of the things that they said. The stores represent another way to reach the customer and test what resonates with them. And that doesn't really mean anything to me. They've been very cagey about why they started the stores. When I looked at this a few times, one word stuck out: test. Test what resonates with the customer. Has anyone ever shopped at Pick n Pay? Okay, does Pick n Pay open shops to test you? No, Pick n Pay opens shops to make money out of you. Okay? What Amazon is doing here is they are testing their customers, and I think that there are two reasons why Amazon opened their stores. The first is to test what the customer likes and what the customer doesn't like. It's basically a big test group. You ever attended a test group to see what works and what doesn't work? I think that is part of the reason they do that. Let's just take a look at what else we know, and this is significant. It started in 2015, and to date there are only 13 stores. If Amazon was serious about retail, there would be a lot more than 13 stores.
Is that 13 in the States, or is that 13 scattered all over the world?
In the States, but because the US is who it is, scattered all over their world. Okay. They're about a quarter the size of the Barnes & Noble. Have you guys ever seen a Barnes & Noble? Okay, they used to be really, really big. Not so much anymore. They're pretty small now. And the Amazon stores are a quarter of that size. All the books face out. Now, does that make business sense? Can't fit so many books in if they're all faced out. You've got to have the spine out, because really you want as many books as possible. Okay? So this is purely a marketing exercise by having them face out. But it's not the kind of actions you expect from a retailer wanting to make money out of retail. All marketing is based on ratings and reviews. So what happens online is now happening in the Amazon stores. They promote the items that have got the best reviews. This one is significant. There are more bookless campus stores than there are regular bookstores. So in other words, Amazon is catering on university and college campuses by not holding any stock, but the students can go in, order their book, and the book will be delivered later that day. Did anyone know that Amazon did that? I didn't know that, and it's not really important. What is important is that there's a lot more of those than the actual bookstores that they're opening. And this is the second reason I think they've opened. A huge percentage of that layout is for tech products. And I think that Amazon is trying to provide access to Kindle for people that want to still touch something before they order it. And they know that if they sell a Kindle at the bookshop, they're going to be selling a lot of stuff online. Alright. Let's just quickly look at how Amazon actually makes its money. This is what we call working capital cycle. And what we do is we say, how long does it take? Okay. Who shops at Clicks? Okay. If you go into Clicks and you're going to buy, say, deodorant, how long do you think that deodorant has been on the shelf for? What Clicks do you go to? Oh, a restaurant. On average, it's been there for about 15 to 20 days. So Clicks has bought this item. How long does it take for them to get their money? 15 days. Okay. Not only does it take 15 days, but they also have to take a look. Oh, sorry, got myself lost there. How long does it take for them to get their money? They get their actual money immediately because you pay at the till. But they only have to pay their suppliers after a certain amount of time. So let's take a look at this business very quickly. This is a business where the item is sold within 15 days. They get their money immediately, but they have to pay their suppliers after 120 days. Which means for 105 days, they've got your money. What business would this be? That's how Pick n Pay makes their money, not by selling stuff. They make their money by using your money for 105 days before they pay their suppliers. Let's look at Amazon's working capital cycle. They're making their money by using your money for 120 days, and it's working very simply. They don't sell an item until it's ordered. Okay, so it's 0 days. They won't place the order to the supplier until you've paid them. So they don't have to wait any amount of time to get the item. And when you're as big as Amazon, you can delay paying your major suppliers. Alright, so they've got 120 days that they use to play with your money. How many companies are as big as Amazon? Online, Amazon is actually one of the smaller players. They're not even in the top 10. But because they're using their money so intelligently, that's what they're around for. Right, let's just, sorry I talked a lot about Amazon there. Let's just take a look and see what book selling is like in South Africa. In 2005, okay, in 2005, we had more than 50 used bookshops. That number's down to less than 10. Granted, there's a lot of charity bookshops now, which have filled that gap slightly. But whichever way you look at it, a reduction of 50 to 10 is quite significant. Exclusive books was always the benchmark. In 2008, there were 60, down to about 40 now. Have you guys been to more of Africa? Okay, I haven't been, but I've been told that possibly the biggest mall in South Africa doesn't have a bookshop. There's no bookshop in the Mall of Africa. No exclusive books, no Estoril, no Reader's Warehouse, no bargain books. It was an exclusive books strategy to be in every significant shopping centre that opened up. The fact that they are no longer, or that they're not even in the Mall of Africa is telling us something. Okay. But we've seen overseas this trend started, and what happened is in the US we would have niche market stores. So for example, it might be, I don't know, cookbooks. So people that would have gone to exclusive books to buy a recipe book or a cookery book would go to a specialist niche shop. And there they would be able to buy new books, the latest Jamie Oliver. They'd be able to buy collectible used books like Mrs. Patani or something, and they could buy maybe some minor accessories that they could use to cook. There's been a significant resurge in that type of shop, and we're starting to see it in South Africa as well. Okay? You can buy books where you didn't used to be able to buy books. And of course, niche independent bookstores like Scrooge's. How many of us are here to buy a book tonight? Yeah, okay. Everyone's looking around. Dorothy, they all said they're going to buy a book tonight. Guys, you're not here, you're in a bookshop, but you're not here to buy a book, you're here for an event. This is part of the niche that is developing, and kudos to Scrooge for recognizing that gap. There's also been a massive growth in microfairs, and overseas it's more predominant than it is here, but people are going to the Terry Pratchett Fair because they're selling fantasy novels. People are going to children's markets to buy
George's books.
They're going to children's markets to buy children.
Why children?
Giving at least they're going to buy books, children's books, not Ashley's books. Thank you. Guys, this is something that you're going to have to explore more and more. Now, when I was in, for 5 years I was in the book industry, youth bookstore, I forgot to mention that. When I was in that industry, the worst part of the industry was having to work on Saturdays. Every Saturday morning was the busiest day of the week, and it was crazy because when all my friends were having fun, I was sitting in a bookshop. But if you're going to be serious about selling your books, you guys are going to have to start attending microfairs. You don't have to attend one every weekend, and it needs to be very tailored. Don't just attend one because it'll have you. Make sure Terry Pratchett is ideal. The Terry Pratchett Fair is ideal for fantasy novels. How many of you had stalls at Christmas markets last year? Okay, when do people really spend money for Christmas? Guys, Christmas time is when authors should have, every weekend they should have their books somewhere. And you don't necessarily have to be there yourself. Maybe 4 or 3 or 2 of you could band together and say, okay, this weekend I'm going to sell the books. Next weekend, you sell the books. Think about innovative ways of doing it. If you want to sell hard copy, you're going to have to look at micro book fairs. In other words, micro fairs that are related to books. If you want to sell, you need to be there. So what's the future of retailing? Customer data, okay? Most of you shop at Clicks. Who's got a Clicks card? Keep your hands up. Okay, who's got a Pick and Pay card? Okay, let's see your feet now. Who's got a Mug and Bean card? Yeah, okay. Coffee's better here, that's why. In fact, sorry, could I have a cup of coffee? No. Cup of decaf. Just decaf, regular. Thank you. Okay, I love Mug and Bean. So guys, what do I mean? Why did I ask what customer loyalty programs you have? It's because every time you use them, data is recorded. So when you slide your card, it clicks through, it records what you bought, when you bought it, how you bought it, everything you could possibly think of. Why do they want that information?
So they can mail you out.
In the States, I've told the story before, so the rest of you can just bear with me. In the States, they keep their nappies close to, on Friday night, they keep the nappies in a supermarket close to
The beer.
beer. Why beer?
That's looking after the kids.
On a Friday night, typically what happened is the wife said, your turn. Or the wife said, I told you to get and you forgot to get. Or the husband said, no, darling, I'll go and get. They didn't say they were going to get nappies. They said they were going to get beer. And they found that the increase in sales in nappies was worth moving the nappies to the beard just for that one evening. The other story that I found very interesting is in the US, a girl of about 15 was harassed. And her father phoned the supermarket and said, listen guys, my daughter is getting these birth control, vibrator, all these kinds of weird things. Advert sent her, she's only 15. And he said, sorry sir, we sorted out for you, so sorry. Next day the guy phoned back and said, sorry, my daughter was pregnant. The store knew before the father, and very possibly before the daughter, simply by recording the data. Okay, this is what we're getting to. We now have the capacity for data mining. And we're developing, this data has always been there, since the Kickstart card started. But we now have processes that are strong enough to actually handle that data. And it's likely that, well, in the US, we're already at a stage where we'll have our trolley that will greet us by name. So we'll get our trolley will say, hello Andrew, and I will walk up and down the aisles, and as I walk up and down each aisle, LED lights will go off on the items that I'm probably going to like. So it'll be tailored to the individual. Scary, huh? Okay, this is where we get into in South Africa, we'll get there as well. So basically, either we shop online, or we get manipulated in the shops. Either way, we're going to get manipulated. Right. I want to talk about putting your book in a bookshop. And let's start by just looking at your typical retail model. Now you guys all know this, but I want to go over it again. Let's say that your book is 200 Rand. If you're lucky, the store portion will be 40%, 45%. So you'll be left with 110 Rand. Is that good or bad? Good or bad? Okay. You're still going to pay your agent for getting the book into the shop. Okay? You like it at Scoops, but if you want to get it into every shop out there, you're going to have an agent who got it in there for you. You're going to pay 25% of net. So you're going to be left with 82.50. Is that good? How much did it cost you to print your book? I was conservative, I said 60 Rand. So you're going to come out with 22 Rand 50. Do writers get rich?
Hang on, did you get it edited and proofread and a cover and all those things done?
I'm not even going to go there. Now I'm working on the assumption that those costs have been sunk already. That these are just the variable expenses. Whereas if you sell it yourself, you're going to be clearing 140 Rand. So which way is better? Which way is better? Okay. The problem is not just that you're not going to make much money on it. The problem is that how many bookstores are there nationwide? No, really not. Somewhere between 150 and 200. If you go to an agent, they don't want a minimum of 50 copies, but they're probably going to ask you for 150. Have you guys printed off 150 at a time? Okay, printing 150 costs a lot of money. Plus you're going to be paying your agent upfront an admin fee. Just them to keep your books. And that's because they have expenses as well. They have to have the warehouse space for your books. But you're going to pay a lot of money. But let's assume the agent does get it into the store. It goes in and let's say exclusive books, not because it's exclusive books, but because it's the main one at the moment. Has been. They're going to put it in the wrong place, inevitably. You know, they're going to look at a book like Ashley's Cirque book, and they're going to think, this would go nicely in the children's section. Okay. Not so much. If they don't put it in the wrong place, their customer's going to put it in the wrong place. And I'm not talking about us as customers, I'm talking about the 2-year-old. You know, the 2-year-old that grabs it, with dirty fingers, sticky fingers, they're going to put it in the wrong place. And they're not going to market it, guys. Having a book in a store does not mean it's going to get marketed. Why? Because they don't, people selling the books don't know about your book. They know James Patterson, Wilbur Smith, and that's it. Alright. Their customers aren't going to see the book. So really what you're saying is you want to take a much lower cut so that the book can get put in a store in the wrong place where it's going to get manhandled and abused, and then you're going to send it back to you anyway. Right. Who thinks that traditional retailing is the best way to go?
We love you, James.
It's one of the ways.
Okay.
One of the ways.
Ask me something, yeah?
So I'm dealing with Gerald Ratton of Copper Birch, and he's taken my book to exclusive bookstores, CNA, whatever, and all the leading bookstores in South Africa actually. And he's ordered so far 145 books. And he said to me as well, it looks like I'm going to be in the homebrew. I book to Gerald, he read it, he phoned me and he said to me, I think we've got a bestseller here. So wouldn't they not waste their time, because he's had his agents out there, etc., etc., would he waste his time with a book, putting it into the stores, etc., if he thinks he's just going to send it back to me? That is my question. And Andrew, thanks for this talk tonight, and thanks for always giving of yourself in your talks. I always appreciate it.
Thank you. Round of applause, please. It's a very pertinent question. Should you approach an agent, and will the agent know if your book will sell? I don't want to cast aspersions on agents, but what I will say is basic human behavior. If they've got something and they're going to make money out of it, it doesn't matter. Let me use another Amazon example. Amazon doesn't care how many ebooks they've got uploaded, because they know that even if they sell one, they'll make a bit of money. So they don't care if the book's good or bad. If it's up there, someone will buy it. My feeling is that if I was an agent, my incentive would be to have as many books as possible. Because I'm going to pay an upfront, or because my client is going to pay an upfront admin fee, which can be really high. What? Ah, okay. So you don't pay the admin fee. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Their agents are going to meet with the appropriate people. They're not going to go to 150 to 200 stores. They're going to be meeting with the buyers for CNA, Exclusive Books, Estoril, and so on and so forth. So they're the gatekeepers. It is still not in their interest to have a wide variety of books to take in. Now, they're not going to take in books that are obviously junk. They're not going to take in terrible books. But I think that they would take books that are maybe. The reason for that is some of the discount bookstores are prepared to take on books that are subpar at a very low price, which they then sell on to their customers for $49.99. Okay, the one area of the book industry that is growing is the bargain books, the discount bookstores. Okay, does that answer your question? Okay. Right. Now there is one very important thing that I need to say. The one exception for your book being in a physical store is if you have had national attention of any sort. Newspaper, magazine, radio, TV, anything at all. If you are saying how good your book is to the people listening to you, you have to have it in stores where people can access it. It's actually, for me, a tacit contract. You can't say, my book's wonderful, but you can't buy it in a bookstore. Okay? Also, in terms of a book launch, you can't have a book launch and not sell the books. Now there's one niche that Scoops fills. it gives you guys the opportunity to say, when someone asks you where they can buy your book, you can go buy it at Schools. Is your book anywhere? Oh, it's in Schools, go buy it at Schools. You need to have that base point. At the end of the day, people out there are going to want to have a look at your book. And it's not going to sound professional if you say it's not available anywhere, it's only available online. But that's very much an exception, guys. What you need to be looking at in the future is two things. Firstly, you need to be looking at the overseas market. Look at the 1,300 people in the US and UK rather than the 10 people here. You guys need to be looking at marketing online. That isn't selling a book for 99 cents on every Facebook group you find. It's also not putting your book up on Amazon and hoping that people are going to find it, because they won't. Amazon, at the end of the day, is just to shelf your books. You need to promote it. Personally, I like two places. I like, I've forgotten the biggest one in the world. Goodreads. Goodreads is one of them. Okay, Goodreads is Facebook for readers and bookmakers. To me, it's very important to be there. Why? Because the world is internationalized, our names are fairly commonplace, by and large. So if someone puts in Andrew Christie, my name doesn't come up near the top, let alone my book website. Secondly, Goodreads is objective because it's got reviews from everyone, and anyone can post a review about anything. People or readers have got more faith in those reviews than going onto your website where you really just put the 5 really brilliant, wonderful, amazing reviews. Okay? The second thing, the main thing I like to use is Facebook. Guys, 2.1 billion people are on Facebook. You can't afford not to be on Facebook. But that's another chat. Okay. That's all I had to say, guys. Questions? What questions are there?
What about sale and return? You haven't mentioned that at all.
Sell and return?
Yeah. So if my books get into a store and they don't sell,
Yes. So you've got your 150 books which go into a store and you get 140 back. What are you going to do with those books?
Christmas presents!
Christmas presents. When you deal with an agent, if you do deal with an agent, please try and keep those numbers as small as possible. Some of them will accept 50, but bear in mind that if 150 go out, it's very likely you're going to get 140 back. You need to have a plan in place.
It's marketed properly. That's not worth it.
Would you rather spend 100 Rand marketing?
No, the author's responsibility of marketing their own book is essential in this.
Oh, absolutely. The onus is really on the author because no one else is going to sell it for you. You know, it's nice at Scoops because there is some promoting of indies done here, but most bookshops aren't going to do that. Before you have your 150 printed to go to an agent, you need to know what you're going to do with the 140 when they come back. You're going to have to hope that a lot of those books get damaged and don't get returned. Okay, but otherwise, you need to know, if I get 140, what am I going to do with them? How am I going to promote them? How am I going to roll that out? Has anyone been in that position? Okay, Christmas presents. Any other questions?
You sure you got no more questions for Andrew? We've got his brain here to pick.
Talk about Facebook.
Sorry?
You said Facebook is another talk, and you're not talking about on Facebook.
Yes, no, it's a talk all on its own. Facebook, yes.
Another platform wants to be affiliated with publishers for the remain. One of the options for self-publishing.
Sorry, just say that again.
A lot of the platforms available want you to be affiliated with a publisher or an agent. How do you get past that?
A lot of the platforms want you to be affiliated with an agent or a publisher. Okay, I'll have to speak to you about that separately because
If ever anyone asks you to be affiliated to someone, that's their way of saying we're going to make money on you. That's what it comes down to. What I find more and more online is that the only people making money are people that are unethical. And that is one of the things that they do. Very often that database is then fed. So you'll start getting emails from agents saying, hey, we're wonderful, we're great, we're amazing. This is why it's so important to me that indie authors really do it all themselves. The more they do themselves, the more money they're going to make. And there are a number of indie authors that are so successful that they decline to go to main publishing houses. And at the end of the day, if you've got the skill and the talent to write a book, and if you've got the 60 Rand to print a copy, and to take the time to learn how to upload onto Amazon, there's no reason you can't market it yourself. The important thing with something like indie authors is you get a network here, so you get to learn who's good, who's bad, who's a good editor, who's a bad copy editor, who's a great cover designer. And that's what I like being here, is just making sure that everyone's getting the best knowledge possible. So I gave you a really long, boring answer.
I've got a quick answer.
Did I answer your question though? Cool.
As a book lover, and there's two prices on Amazon. There's your hardcopy price and there's your Kindle version price. What is your view on the pricing of that? What shouldn't it be? What should it be? What is the boundaries for Kindle and hardcopy?
Can we give you a really long answer for this one? What happened is, remember in 2008 what happened? Crash, okay? Crash 2008. Everyone started uploading their books. And what happened is, suddenly everyone knew about ebooks, everyone was reading ebooks. Everyone, it seems, except the mainstream publishers. They fell behind. They weren't expecting ebooks to take off so quickly and so popularly with people. So what happened is, eventually they decided, no, we better do ebooks as well. And because ebooks are so nice and people like them so much and they're so convenient, we're going to charge more for ebooks than for hard copies. Did that work for them? No. And that's why they still, to this day, are trying to prove that ebooks are declining in popularity. Okay. So, if you look online, you'll see that the prices generally are much of a muchness, but they can still quite often be more expensive. And this is where indie authors have got a big advantage. They recognize that they have access to this huge market, and they would rather sell 10 $2.99 books than one $29.99 book, because that isn't going to happen. That's the reality. So how do you market your books? What do you price your books at? I've got a model that I like to work with, or that seems to work well. First book should be published at between $4 and $6.99 for the ebook. The second book is the same price, but the price of your first book drops back to about $2.99. When you publish your third book, first book becomes $1.99. And ultimately, once you've written the 4 books, the first one should become free. Why? Okay, they're going to buy the second. So you're using the first one, pretty much the people that are going to buy it have bought it. So give it to other people, use it as a marketing tool. If they enjoy it, then they'll spend $1.99. And if they enjoy that, they'll spend $3.99. So that's my feeling in terms of ebooks, that you can't charge too much, but you need to make money. You didn't do this except for Jerry out of love. Okay, you need to just make a lot of money out of it, but you need to be realistic. The other thing is your first book is never as good as your fourth book. So let the first one go out as your marketing tool. Does that give you any answer?
Hardcopy. What is the? How much did you pay for hardcopy? From Amazon.
Nothing. I would from Loot.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what is the price range? I mean, my advice is never more than $10.
The problem with the hard copy on Amazon is that you put in what you want and then it does the whole jiggly thing and creates the price. But my feeling is for a hard copy, here's the thing. How many of you got hard copies on Amazon? How many of you have got your books on Loot? Have you all checked? Because if you list your book on CreateSpace on Amazon, sooner or later it ends up on the Loot data list as well. So take a look. Guys, if you've got a book that's on CreateSpace, have a look to see if it's on Loot, www.loot.coza. It'll work out a lot cheaper than if you order from Amazon. And for those, the average price is between 180 up to about 280. So yeah, Rand. Which is not bad when you consider that that covers the postage to South Africa as well. And that, in terms of hard copy, short answer, between $10 and $12.50. But different for non-fiction.
I just want to add something on to what Deb is saying, is that you've got to have a look at the page extent as well. You can't sell a 150 page book $20 on Amazon because that's not correct. And you can't sell a 150 page ebook for $7 either because that's not correct.
Yeah, thank you. I was just trying to get into my thick head there. Have I answered your question now? Okay. You always ask the hardest questions.
Sorry, for that gentleman at the back there whom I haven't met yet, they are asking about the agents. There are agents who will take on independently published authors. You do not have to be affiliated with the publisher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So once I had a bit of time to think about your question, I think I sort of got where you were going. Right, more questions for Andrew. Can we pick his brain any more tonight?
Is there any left?
It wasn't much to begin with.
How long will a book stay in the store before they return it? Let's exclusive books.
3 months.
3-month turnaround in any bookstore. Unless you keep selling it, then it stays. It becomes an evergreen, what we call evergreen.
Do you think that it's good if an author comes in and does, say, like a signing in a shop? So say, for example, if they have a relationship with schools and you're stocking their books, would you be happy for them to come in and just do a signing as a random thing where they're generating and bringing people in to actually receive signed copies of their books from you?
Signings haven't really worked very hard. So I try and synergize. If somebody wants to do that, I say rather have an event around whatever topic is of your book. For instance, the bullying one that we're having on the 19th of March, where we're having Vijal and yourself coming to join this group. So I'll synergize that and rather have it like that instead of you standing signing books that no one's actually going to sign. So I would always say create an event around what you want to do, always.
Sorry, the gentleman in the back?
Yes.
I had another logistical or technical question. I couldn't connect my South African bank account to Amazon, and so I don't know how to work around it.
You need to open a Payoneer account.
Pioneer.
Payoneer, it's like,
Payoneer.
yeah, it's like P-A-Y-O-N-E-E-R. It works like PayPal.
Okay.
But you can't do PayPal. It has to be Payoneer.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, I won't do PayPal. I have a PayPal account. It didn't work. Yeah, it didn't.
Payoneer.
Tammy will help you with that one, darling.
Like overseas bookstores where there's a PayPal sometimes. That's much more.
have another question. Another question? No? Yes?
I don't know about giving book reviews on Amazon. What about the scenario where you buy $50 worth of books before they are
Okay, this is a real problem. Yeah, you have to spend a certain amount. What some of the authors have done is when they host giveaways or have little competitions, they buy $1, $2, $4, $5 gift cards, which they can then distribute internationally if they want. And they try and keep their $50 limit up like that. That's one way of doing it. For me, Goodreads is a better place to focus on the reviews because it's a lot easier. You don't have to sign up, you don't have to spend $50, and Amazon is always changing the rules. Every few months there's something else, and they change forward, and they change back, and then they change sideways. Goodreads, it's simpler. Most of your local friends are not going to want to know or don't know what Goodreads are. I always suggest send them a sheet on how to sign up. They can do it through Facebook, and they can put your reviews there.
What about independent reviews? Not just the people who know that like it.
Well,
Anybody who spends $50 on Amazon can put a review there.
I'm not making it independent reviews.
Yes, that's
Somebody reads a book, say somebody reads your book that you don't know, and they do a review, that's an independent review.
what,
How do you get somebody who don't know to read the book?
what, what is? Okay, independent reviews. The best way to do it as a novice writer, someone who's only written a book or a couple of books, is to host giveaways, prizes, and make friends with bloggers. A prize, simple, sending an e-copy of the book, and you're going to do a lot of those, but sooner or later you'll start getting those people writing reviews. What's also a good idea of hard copies that go out, have a little sheet at the back that says, I really value reviews. If you feel like reviewing the book, even if it was bad, I love criticism, please go to this website. And actually give them a QR code. Okay, lots of places online you can sort out the QR codes. Books and everything, we've got a few bloggers. Yeah, it's very useful to make contact with them. And several of them would be delighted to review books. You get to know what kind of blogger enjoys what kind of book. And those become your independent reviews as well. But it's not easy. It takes a lot of work.
Okay, so my mission this year is to get every author who is independently published to make friends with 10 other authors in their genre and to then use each other to market each other. We tend to be very isolated, and in actual fact, becoming friends with somebody in your own genre, or another author in your own genre, it's not actually competition. Because what you are doing is you are grabbing their followers, and hopefully they are going to follow you. So, if you haven't made friends with at least 10 authors in your genre, that is your task for the year. And I'm going to ask at every meeting, have you made friends with 10 authors in your genre? And are you using those connections? Are you doing newsletter swaps? Are you doing Facebook takeovers? You know, how are you utilizing those 10 people's tribes to your benefit? Right, I would like to thank Andrew.
Thanks very much, because that was lovely. Guys, there's one thing, if you want a copy of the presentation.
Yes, if you've all signed the list, we can send it to you. I'll do it. You're right. Just before we sign off, Jan wants to say something, but I would like to thank you very much all for coming. It's been wonderful to see you all tonight. And our next meeting is in May. I sincerely hope that you are all members of the Indie Author Networking Facebook group. Yes, I have to promote my own site, Tango with Text. That's me. Here's Jay.
Good evening. Right, I just have one very quick thing to say, and that is, you were just talking about marketing your own books, Dennis. Even if you've only got a small audience, say for example a book club asks you, would you like to go, would you like to do a talk? There might only be 6 people, but even if just 2 of those 6 buy your book and you sign it for them, and they review it or they talk about it, that's 2 more people. So what I'm trying to say is, don't always think that you have to do the massive Johannesburg Children's Book Fair or the Johannesburg whatever. You don't. If we start off small, it's amazing how those ripples get bigger. So all I'm trying to say is, you know, if you get the opportunities to do small things, I did one yesterday. From a book sale point of view, it was an absolute disaster. From a getting contacts point of view, it was absolutely wonderful. And I think what will come out of it will actually be very, very beneficial with our school reading roadshow, which, as you know, is my pet hobby. But to always utilise, if you can, your time to visit the small person, because that's actually what we are as well. We're the small people, but we're one day going to be the next J.K. Rowling, because we're going to become big people.
Yes.
And we're going to do that by getting out there to as many people as we can. And if that means giving your time in small events, please do it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you again in May.